All right, this is the continuation of the Gerald Shea Memorandum, in which in the subsection of the report, we talk about the cities that had these art students and moving companies that were following and monitoring the DEA, state government officials and their organizations, as well as the Al Qaeda and Al Qaeda affiliates who were involved with the 9/11 attacks in the year prior to the attacks. So in the report, we'll start with Atlanta, the Atlanta Division of the Drug Enforcement Administration Security Division. One, sometime in July or August of 2000, a woman claiming to be a student from a foreign country attempted to enter the Chattanooga, Tennessee resident office. The woman was attempting to sell homemade pins that she had hand painted and put together herself. An office assistant advised the woman that she was on federal property and solicitation was prohibited. The office assistant claimed the woman was from the Middle East, but cannot recall the exact location. Two, in mid to late December of 2000, a male and female subject described as being in their mid-20s arrived at the residence of a special agent. The male subject spoke fluent English. However, the female subject had a heavy accent. Both subjects claimed to be Israeli art students. Special agent examined some of the artwork, but became suspicious when the students would not provide him with a contact telephone number in case he should decide to buy something. Subsequently, the special agent saw some of the exact same artwork for sale at a kiosk in the Mall of Georgia. Special agent questioned the salesperson about the origin of the artwork, but the salesperson was uncooperative. Three, during the first week of January 2001, an individual identifying himself as an Israeli art student attempted to bring artwork into the Columbus, Georgia resident office. The individual is not permitted to enter the office. Four, the following was received by the Montgomery, Alabama District Office on March 27, 2001, approximately 1:45 p.m. Montgomery District Office Group Supervisor John W. Wall was exiting the elevator on the first floor of our building en route to a meeting. Our building is a small two-story office building that also contains the offices of the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, U.S. Geological Survey, DynCorp, and a small investment company, Newman Investments. As Wall got out of the elevator, a white female was getting on. Wall noticed she was carrying a large blue art portfolio. Wall engaged her in a conversation and asked if she was in our building on government business, to which the female stated that she was an art student from Austria and was promoting her work. Wall asked if she was actually from Israel, and the female later identified as Vamina Erika Dardik stated again that she was from Austria. Dardik got on the elevator for the second floor, and Wall went to his OGV and notified me with the instructions to re-interview the female. Several minutes passed, and Dardik never came to our office. Investigation later revealed that Dardik did not visit any of the offices in our building. Moments later, an administrative assistant observed Dardik walking through the parking lot in the direction of other buildings. Now, she may have been there to surveil the building to see whether there's a prompt security apparatus, cameras, motion sensors, things of this nature. But it's interesting that they would surveil this particular building, which basically housed, as it says here, the U.S. Bureau of Prisons, Geological Survey, DynCorp, and a small investment company, unless there's somebody that they want to contact the Bureau of Prisons or DynCorp. When you Google DynCorp, this comes up. DynCorp was an American private military contractor. Started as an aviation company. Well. How about that? The company also provided flight operations support, training, and mentoring international development, intelligence training and support, contingency operations security, and operations and maintenance of land vehicles. Corporate headquarters were in an unincorporated part of Fairfax County near Falls Church, Virginia, while the company's contracts were managed from its office, Fort Worth, Texas. Well, by the way, Fort Worth, Texas is where another art student ring is. Maybe when we talk about the Fort Worth, Texas division, we'll talk about the Israeli art students in DynCorp. Just remember that. There you go. Interesting stuff there, right? That's amazing. Let's go back. At that point, agents set out on foot to find Dardick. The agents observed another white female leader, identified as Esther Sages, walking through the office complex, also carrying a large blue portfolio. Sages was followed on foot a short distance to a van and was parked on a side road where the agents made contact with a white male identified as Marcelo Valenisi. Valenisi took Sage's portfolio and placed it into the van, a 1984 GMC full-size custom van bearing Florida tag T11YZX, registered to Marcelo Valenisi in Gainesville, Florida. The agents approached Sages, and Valenisi identified themselves and separated the two for interviews. Valensi, not Valenisi. Valensi stated that he was an art student at the University of Florida and stated that they were traveling around to promote the work of new artists. Information revealed that Valensi was registered at Santa Fe Community College in 1999 and not at the University of Florida. Why would he lie about that? Valensi produced an ID card from Argentina. Interesting. Now, why am I saying that's interesting? Because isn't that the country in which the 5 dancing Israelis, or some of them, were traveling to connect to Israel? Could be wrong about that, but I think it was Argentina. Stated that he was on spring break from the University of Argentina, whether they were coming to the United States or going or leaving the United States in the days after 9/11. I don't quote me on that. It stated that he was on spring break from the University of Florida when he was a student for 3 years. Valensi stated that his passport was in his hotel room at the Governor's House Hotel. Valensi stated that he and approximately 5 other students had been in Montgomery about 2 days and planned to stay several more. Esther Sages produced an Israeli passport and stated that she had been in the U.S. approximately 3 weeks. Sages claimed to be an artist but does not attend school anywhere. Sages admitted to having served in the Israeli army for 2 years, mandatory service. Sages identified her father as Elihu Sages, deceased, and her mother as Marajilit Sages. Sages gave the same story as being in Montgomery to promote the artist's work. 9. While talking to Valensi and Sages, Vanina Dardick walked up and was interviewed. Dardick provided an ID card from Argentina, but stated that she had dual citizenship, Argentina and Israel. Dardick stated that she was born in Argentina to an Argentine father, Mario Dardick, and an Israeli mother, Judith Cohn. She moved to Israel when she was 12 years old and served in the Israeli army. Dardick reported that she is the girlfriend of Marcelo Valensi. Dardick spoke English, Hebrew, and Spanish. Sages spoke English and Hebrew. Valensi spoke English, Spanish. Valensi was 10. Valensi was asked if the artwork was for sale, to which he stated not really, that they were promoting their work, and that it is important to artists that people like their work. Valensi was asked if, hypothetically, someone liked his work and wanted to commission him to paint something, how would someone get in contact with him? Valensi was very hesitant to provide a means of contact. When pressed, Valensi provided Gainesville telephone 352-378-1435 as a contact number. He was asked how their group could afford to travel around providing artwork if they derived no income from it. He stated that his parents, Roberto and Grazella Valensi, financed his travels. Parents' address in Buenos Aires is reported Salguero, 2468, apartment 15. Let's give a hypothetical. Where would you get money for an operation like this? Obviously, this is a intelligence black operation. When I say black operation, illegal, covert. How do you get money from that? The drug trade, right? Like the CIA. CIA can't go to Congress, for example. CIA can't go to Congress and say, "Hey, we need 50 million because we're trying to overthrow the presidents in Syria." No, they need these Israeli art students are getting money from the drug trade. I'm speculating here. What other Israeli drug ring was going on? Well, look up Jacob Orgud, nicknamed Cookie, with connections to Heidi Fleiss and the ecstasy trade, which was in the year 2000, 1999, 2000, 2001, was enormous. But that's just a hypothetical. Esther Sage 11. Esther Sages stated that one of her stops in Montgomery was going to be the Jewish Federation office, which is located adjacent to where their van was parked at 2820 Fairlane Drive, Montgomery. Telephone 334-277-5820. All the subjects were photographed. However, Sages initially did not want her picture taken. Wonder why. 12. Epic was contacted for information on their entries into the U.S. Epic queries indicated the following. Marcelo Valenci, Argentine passport, 263-16660. Admission date, February 1st, 2001. Point of entry, Miami, Florida. Arrival, Tel Aviv, Israel. Visa issued in Buenos Aires in 1998. Carrier, All Israeli Airlines. Flight 201. And this is his history. I'm not going to go down the whole history. Came to the country in November of 99, October 18th of 2000, February 1st, 2001. This is his whole history. Coming to the United States, arrival from departure, as you can see, September of 98. Point of entry, Miami, Florida. Departure date, all this. So this is a whole history that they got, that Gerald Shea got from the DEA report, and got every city's DEA reports, and made this memorandum. Esther Sages, Israeli passport 96470-399. Emission date, March 3rd, 2001. Newark International. Well, point of entry, Newark. Tel Aviv, his arrival. Newark International. Why am I highlighting Newark International? Now, there's a hypothetical I'm working on. And to those who know me well, knows where this is going. And for those who don't know, well, Newark International was where Flight 93 departed and was heading to San Francisco, in which Flight 93 crashed in Shanksville instead. The only plane not to hit a building. And who's on this plane, allegedly? Ziad Jarrah. He's the alleged pilot, Flight 93. Now, my hypothetical is this, that Ziad Jarrah was an Israeli mole. He was never on Flight 93. And if he was on Flight 93, I believe he was an Israeli mole and he's dead. This way he doesn't talk. It's another hypothetical I'm working on. I originally thought that he wasn't on the plane because we have phone calls saying there are only 3 hijackers. It's supposed to be 4. Now, Ziad Jarrah is on the plane. He's dead. Right? Plane crashed, everyone's dead. And the reason why is because they don't want him talking. Right? Or is he alive and he's in witness protection? Could be 2. It could be 2. I don't know. But the hypothetical is that he's the Israeli mole because his family members are in Israeli intelligence. And also in foreign intelligence like Libya. I mean, his uncle, his cousin, Ali Al-Jar, was arrested in Lebanon. He was a school teacher for many years. And he was reporting out of Hezbollah for 25 years for the Israeli intelligence. 25 years. He also has a brother, Joseph Aljar, who was helping him for 10 years. And he has an uncle, Assam Aljar, who has a much more nefarious history, working out of the Abu Nidal organization, working for Libyan, German, and Israeli intelligence. You're telling me Al Qaeda couldn't know these things? Or if they did, they didn't have much of a security apparatus involving their most sensitive project, their biggest project. Very strange, isn't it? But yeah, Newark International. Interesting. But it may not mean anything. May not mean a damn thing. I just find that interesting because of my hypothetical. That's it. And here, Vanima Erica Dardick, Argentine passport 10581-811. Admission date February 1st, 2001. Arrival from London. Visa issued in Buenos Aires in 1990. And there you have it. That's the history of them entering and leaving the country. 15. Regarding the group's story as art students, specifically Valenci, stating that he is a student at the University of Florida at a spring break. RAC Dick McHenry, Gainesville inquiry as to Valenci's status as a student. RAC McHenry advised that Valenci was last registered in the spring of 1999. RAC McHenry also stated that spring break was already over for this year. Why would you lie about that? 16. It is noted that in addition to the 3 subjects contacted, another group of 3 alleged art students was documented working in another office complex on Perry Hill Road, Interstate Park in Montgomery on the same day on March 27, 2001. This group is known to have solicited several offices in that complex, which are the Department of Defense, contractors, Maxwell Air Force Base is in Montgomery. Montgomery FBI agents made contact with that group at their hotel in La Quinta Inn and identified them. Group is known to have solicited several offices in the complex, which are the Department of Defense contractors, Maxwell Air Force Base. 17. The local FBI office was contacted and provided with the information for follow-up as necessary. The FBI person of POC, RAC, Sharon Ornsby. And that's it for the Atlanta division. Interesting stuff. I mean, this is going to be a long series, and I'm going to be doing city by city. And you'll see the enormity of this project. It was undertaken by Israeli intelligence and the Israeli military, because many of the people that were involved in this project were from the Israeli military and Israeli intelligence, signals intelligence, meaning monitoring members of the United States government, their entities, and Al-Qaeda and their affiliates by tapping their phones, by probably hidden cameras, intercepting communications. The question is, why is nobody talking about this? And what information, more importantly, what information did the Israeli operation collected, and why wasn't shared with the United States government? Well, we know why. It's because they were running an illegal covert operation. On whose orders? These are the questions we need to be asking. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. I'll see you in the next video where we cover Boston, the Boston division. Stay safe. See you in the next video. Have a good weekend.